In the previous video, we have mentioned that there is an issue with our script. And the issue is that it depends on the order of the key value pairs within the block. So if I go to this block that we have here, and if I cut the UID, this one, and then if I move it after the given name, and also I do the same thing for the next given name in the next block, I'll take the given name, I'll actually take the UID and move it after the given name. So we have swapped the order in these two blocks. Now when our script runs and it sees the UID, so in that line, for example, it's going to record that UID in this variable. And then when it sees a given name, what will happen next is that it's going to see a given name because there are no UIDs here. It's going to see a given name. And so this block will be entered with given name Cutler. And so in that case, we will print whatever we have in the UID, which is an incorrect value. It's going to be H Barbosa because that's the latest UID that we have seen. Now let's run the script to confirm this behavior. Okay, now we see H Barbosa, which is the incorrect output that we have predicted. And to fix this issue, instead of printing the given name when we find the given name Cutler, what we will do instead is that we will record any given name that we find. So in that case, it is also in the second column, it's the second word. So I'm going to record any value I see where the key is equal to given name. So when the line starts with given name, I'm going to record the value inside the variable that's also called given name. And we can decide later whether we want to print that UID or not. And we can make that decision at the end of the block. So for example, we can add an extra rule here that matches the end of the block, and we can do that by just looking for empty lines. So when we see an empty line like that, this is the regex for an empty line. That's where we are going to check whether the username is Cutler or not. So now the block has ended. Once we reach this block of code, it means that the block has ended, and so we can make the decision. So we will write an if statement. AWK supports if statements, and say if given name is equal to Cutler, then that's when we are going to print the given name. I'm sorry, that's when we are going to print the UID. And after printing, we should also clear the UID variable and the given name variable so that they do not have any effect on the next blocks. Now let's try to run this code. Okay, now it is producing the correct output even with the different order of the key value pairs. So now we are better. Now we have a script that works in more cases. However, there is still an issue that we are going to address in the next video. And this issue happens if I take this block of code here and move it to the end of the file, then we don't have an empty line after the output. So this condition will never be met because we never have an empty line. So if I try to run this script again and we see the output, we see that it did not find the given name, the UID of the user who has the given name Cutler, and that's what we'll be addressing in the next video.